and gentlemen, and welcome to a fucked up edition of HCS Pro Talk, your weekly Halo esports podcast. This is episode 65 for the week of March 19th, 2019. My name is Josh, aka JK Fire, and this week I'm joined by the man who, in another time frame, was in business professional clothing, but is no longer in business professional clothing. Will, how are you on this Tuesday afternoon?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, I feel like we just time traveled.
A little bit.
See, remember during the Zach interview when I fucked up time zones? Well, now we're semi fucking up the release of this podcast, but that's okay. Because by all intents and purposes, we're going to have this released on the day it's supposed to release.
Kinda.
It's going to work out.
It's going to release on Tuesday if you're in Central Time, and it all pans out just fine.
Will, do you want to give a small explanation as to what happened before we actually get into the show?
Sure. So the reason we're recording basically a day late here, or we're recording twice.
Full do-over.
Second take.
Yep.
First recording, went to export it out of our recording software, and not sure what happened, but all of the audio lines just went blank, and we had a silent episode, 2 hours of silence. Tried to recover it. Files were not locatable. Is that a word? I guess it is. Locatable?
Sure.
It is now.
Not able to be located?
Yeah. And we lost the episode right before we were supposed to post. So we're here on a Tuesday, bringing you still bringing you the episode. We'll get it out there.
Hell yes, we will.
New software will be looked into.
Will, should we talk a little bit about what this episode's going to entail?
Yes.
For the second time?
What do we got? Hey, it's the first time for them. That's
it is.
All I'm saying.
And who knows, maybe somebody would be interested in a 2-hour silent episode of HCS Pro Talk.
Maybe they just need that peaceful time in their day.
We're giving you forced meditation.
There it is.
That's what we're giving you. No, but on this episode, we actually are going to be talking a lot about MCC is officially coming to the PC. Reach is coming to MCC along with the PC as well. And then we're going to have our HCS Invitational post show and our Gamers for Giving preview. All of that and more to come on the episode. But Will, before we talk about any of that stuff, what do we always start the show off with? Roster Mania!
It's always some roster mania, so here we go. We have, from Noob Combo, again, the free agent list for Gamers for Giving and DreamHack Dallas, and the team list, so let's get into them. Gamers for Giving free agent list includes the Bronx Demon, Adamant, Gohan, Easy, Hypo, Tusk, Kevin Clutch, Ghoul, Admiral Bunny, Bulkasaur, Too Vicious, Chronology, Most Dope, Host These Shots, Kaiul, and Nautilus EXG. The teams we have... first team is RNC Display, World Famous, and Zypok. Second team, AF Reality, Saber. Second team, we have Slowgy and Struggler. And last but not least, we have Klepto and Revamped, all looking for other players. DreamHack Dallas free agent list is as follows. The OG Killer, Jay Weezy, Gohan, Coco the Janitor, Galloping Elk is a coach looking for a team. We have Easy, we have Exile, Sterling, Crewman, Assertive, Deadlie, Hypo, Trunks, Tusk, Protein, Slur Shot, Poseidon's BR, Cool Ranch Senpai, Joy Slays, Quicksilver, Bulkasaur, Exocide 07, Venom, Adane, Elvistico, Gunstrafe, Chronology, Senshi, Most Dope, Hosty Shots, Kaiul, and Stinger. Woo!
On fire today, Will.
DreamHack Dallas partial team list is as follows. First team is our RCN Display, World Famous, and Zypok, looking for one more. We have Flamehead, The Only Toxic, and Engage, looking for one more. We have Dread Takedown, I Always Slay, and Daffy GDI, looking for one more. Tosh and Berserker looking for 2 more. Reality and Saber looking for 2 more. Just Eon and Shreds, 2 more. Hillian CE and Catastrophe looking for 2 more. Drizzy and Uday looking for 2 more, and Neutralizer, Schoolage, and Pawsey looking for 1 more. And that does it for the list. But we do have a little bit more news. An announcement for Gamers for Giving squad. Infinite Gaming will consist of Ryan Noob, Scarvane, Piles, and Thuggish Killa. So check them out this weekend.
Very nice.
And that's all we got for Rostermania.
Which means it's time for COD, another Games Watch. We got one thing to talk about real quick. So the same weekend that the HCS Invitational took place in, just last weekend, is the same weekend that Call of Duty World League Fort Worth took place. And therefore, we have to give a shout out to Luminosity Gaming. Congratulations on taking first place at Call of Duty World League Fort Worth. And yeah, good stuff all around. And that does it for COD, another Games Watch. Which means it's time for Will's Adventures Within the Haloverse, where Will didn't actually play any Halo in other games too.
So yep, played 1 game, which was Sea of Thieves again. Got my Pirate Legend status, and we'll see what the new update brings if I'll jump back into it.
Hopefully some good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy playing it with buddies Dom and Nick.
Yes.
So it's a good time. That's all I played. Need to get back into more Halo stuff. We talk about it every week, doing the Halo 4 and 5 playthroughs.
Yes.
We'll get there.
We'll be doing that. And then also, I guess I'll just say this right now too, is that, so this weekend is Gamers for Giving. The weekend after that is when the community playdays are going to start back up. So we'll definitely be playing more Halo in the near future.
And don't forget about our 1v1 tournament coming up.
Indeed.
Very shortly here.
Indeed. It is, oh my God, that's really soon.
Yep, we need to get the ball rolling.
Yes.
We need people sign up, please, over on challenge or challenge, however you want to say it, however it's spelt. We need more people to shit on Scud.
Will, yes, get shit on Scud. Will, do me a favor, write down on your paper for a reminder at the end of the show to talk about that 1v1 tournament if you remember what we talked about yesterday. Oh, you remember a little Monster Jam action that might happen. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be great. I played 2 games over the week. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I was a member of Project Stream. And you get a free copy of Assassin's Creed Odyssey on PC if you were part of that program. I got it. I'm playing it. It's good. And then I caved, Will, and I bought the Division 2 on PC. I played an hour of it so far. I like it. I just wanted a new looter shooter experience, and it actually works and is 100% like all there at launch. Can't really say that about a lot of games right now, so good to see. I'll happily give them my $60 for now, and we'll see where the content train rolls with that one. But that's all I played. Will, should we talk about some news?
What do we got this week?
First and foremost, the next Halo Legendary Crate has been announced. We're already off to a roll and start here. And I quote, this is a tweet by Halo. Marked by the skull scratched into his helmet, Emil A239 is remembered as the merciless wrath of Noble Team. Take your first look at his Halo Icons figure in the Renegade-themed Halo Legendary Crate. Order by April 15th at 9 p.m. Pacific Time on loot.cr/Halo to secure yours. Quick thing to say, I completely forgot that I had to cancel my old bank card because there was, oh my God, was it a Caribou or a Starbucks that got hacked or something? And they demanded everybody to cancel their cards and they sent new ones. My old card was attached to my Loot Crate profile. So no wonder I never received my previous, couple month ago crate, but it's being shipped. We're getting it taken care of. Just thought I'd put that in there. Next news story. The MCC playlist update for March 13th, 2019 by Postum's Halo Waypoint article, and I quote, "Good morning, MCC players! Today on March 13th, we are bringing even more maps and modes to the party in several social playlist offerings. Additionally, we have returned the weighting of game types in both social and competitive matchmaking based on community feedback." So there's a good amount of social changes for Halo CE and Halo 2 Anniversary 4v4s, but the big thing we want to talk about right now, Halo 3 4v4 Slayer, again, this is social, removed AR starts from Last Resort and Standoff, added BR starts to Construct, Foundry, Snowbound, Standoff, Cold Storage, and Assembly, and reduced AR starts weight across all maps. absolutely fantastic. Will, you and I both know playing Social Slayer in MCC with AR starts in Halo 3 is a fucking disaster.
It gets annoying real quick.
Yes. So seeing the BR starts being added, seeing AR starts being weighted reduced, great to see. Hope it continues on. Good on ya, MCC. And then for competitive games, Halo 2 Classic and Halo 2 Anniversary Team Hardcore increased objective weight related to Slayer for each map. So now you get a little bit even spread. Next news story. Halo 5 matchmaking feedback update for March 15th, 2019. This is by Zaydenfell over at HaloWaypoint.com, and I quote, matchmaking settings updates. As many of you have noticed, we've made a few matchmaking changes lately that are already live as we try them out. First part, letting matches start even if they aren't full. There's an ongoing issue that randomly drops players after a full match is found. This can result in players waiting a while for that missing slot to get refilled. We are still searching for the main cause of this drop, but to alleviate the issue in the meantime, we've allowed matches to start without being full in several playlists. Currently, any playlist with 10 or more players in social can start down 1 to 2 players. This has been resulting in overall faster matchmaking so far. Then we have team balance check adjustments. Before allowing a match to happen, there is a check that makes sure that the teams are balanceable for reasonably fair matches. In the past, it has prevented matches if the best balance possible resulted in worse than a 40% chance for one team to win. The main reason being it's not fair to make matches much worse than that. In other words, they've made changes to matchmaking, so you'll hopefully get matched up with a better matchup in general, and they made it so you can start it without a full group, which is great. It drastically reduces match times. Awesome to see. Next up, Halo Showtime series. The former director Rupert Wyatt reveals his vision. This is an article over on IGN.com by Terry Schwartz. And I quote, though planning for Showtime's planned Halo TV series is officially underway, with production expected to start later in 2019, the long-in-development project had a recent key staffing turnover when attached director Rupert Wyatt, best known for directing Rise of the Planet of the Apes, departed the project in December of 2018 and was later replaced by Robin Hood and Black Mirror helmer Otto Bathurst. Though he's now off the project, Wyatt had previously been deeply involved with Halo as both director and executive producer, and still has a lot of emotional investment in the series. IGN caught up with Wyatt at South by Southwest while he was promoting his new movie Captive State and chatted about what it would have been if he had stayed on Halo. And I quote, when you're making AAA games like that and you're spending $450 million and you're making them across 5 years, it's all a digital construct. So, to me, I kept on asking the question to myself and the team around me, why would we want to make something that is a digital construct on 1/3 of the budget with 1/3 of the time? Said Wyatt. In simple terms, what I was, therefore, attempting to do was to do everything in camera, to go to locations, to bring a real-world quality to that mythology, which I think would have been really exciting. Of what compelled him about the story, he added, and I quote, you're dealing with outer colony planets in Reach, and just so many different topographies and places and cultures. Like, what is it like for a human colony over time to have evolved? What cultures from Earth have come there, or from Reach have come there that have then become the apex culture? What clothes do they wear? I really hope that's how they pull it off. Though Wyatt grew up watching the Planet of the Apes movies, he had never, quote, steeped himself in the mythology, end quote. And so he took a similar approach to getting to know the world of Halo. In this case, he had only played the game, but, quote, didn't really understand the mythology, end quote, so took to exploring the lore of Halo and quickly became enamored with the deeper world of the series. Will, we did hit on this in the previous recording, right? Mm-hmm. And basically we were talking about how the quote I used was keep it simple, stupid. Right?
Right.
So go ahead. What were you going to say in regards to this?
It sounds like he's really interested in the mythology.
Yes.
And from his quotes there, it sounds like he would have just dove in a little too deep. Yes, there is a Halo audience that knows that mythology well and that it would hit with.
Yes.
But it's a Showtime series, paid subscription.
Yep.
So you got to pull in those new viewers that are going to be paying to watch this show. They
want it in front of as many people as possible, not just the diehard Halo fans.
While, I understand where he's going. When he did Rise of the Planet of the Apes,
yes,
it was basically an origin story to the Planet of the Apes movies from the past.
It was really good too.
They were really good.
Yes, that trilogy was really good.
What I worry about then is is he going to create new stories that wouldn't gel with the current Halo?
Well, I think the whole point about this series was to expand further, not just do like a typical Master Chief type story.
Sure. So it could have worked in that sense for him to build almost like a prequel to the Halo series.
Could have.
But if you're, like we said, the big thing, he might have dove in too deep and not captured the attention of a wider audience.
Yeah, I think I think the point was to do, because he talked about Outer Colonies and Reach, right?
Mm-hmm.
So having those other stories that are being told within the same universe that we get with the novels, right? We get the novels where they're not just about Master Chief. They're Master Chief books, but not all of them are about him. So I'm just afraid that, remember how we kept talking about how you can't please everybody?
Right.
So I hope people understand that a TV show is a completely different beast than a video game, than a comic book, than a book itself, a movie, so on and so forth, right? And like you said, with it being a Showtime show, they need it in front of as many people as possible. And the only way they're going to do that is if they don't get too into the weeds with a lot of the mythos behind Halo. And yes, the lore junkies would eat it up, and there's nothing against that. That'd be awesome. And maybe they can do that if the series becomes successful, right? They can get further and further into that. But when you first start out, you have to make it as engaging and as accessible as possible for anyone that's potentially going to watch. So keep it simple, stupid. That's what I'm going to say. Oh, and then the other comment that I had on it was maybe it's a good thing that this person's not on the project
they brought
anymore.
in someone else.
Yeah, because apparently Captive State is not that good of a movie. Sorry.
Well, I'll have to give him props for Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh,
he
yeah.
did do well there, but
Yeah, great. Great stuff. I haven't seen Captive State. I can't really talk. But reviews, not doing so kind to it right now. But that's okay. Because like you said, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, great movie film. Shall we move on, Will?
Yes.
The next news story, and the big one. MCC on PC and Halo Reach. This is a Halo Waypoint article by Sketch, and I quote, "Today we're extremely excited to share two big announcements that deliver on what are easily the most frequently requested asks from our community over the last few years. 1. Halo Reach is being added to Halo Master Chief Collection, and 2. The entire collection is coming to PC via the Microsoft Store and Steam." The great journey. Before we jump into what all of this means, let's take a quick walk down memory lane. Halo the Master Chief Collection, MCC, launched for Xbox One back in 2014 and offered 4 complete game experiences in one handy package. Soon thereafter, Halo 3 ODST's campaign was added, rounding out the ultimate collection of classic Halo game content. Over the past year, the team at 343 Industries has been working on updating and enhancing MCC in close partnership with the community. Through months of public flighting and player feedback, MCC has grown and evolved into an entirely different product with improved and modernized matchmaking and services, support for 4K and HDR, offline LAN, better controls and input customization, and more. Last September, the enhanced and improved MCC landed on Xbox Game Pass and gave a whole new audience a way to experience Master Chief Saga, or for existing fans, a way to relive those classics like never before. All of this work, along with the support of the community, was instrumental in not only reinvigorating MCC, but laying the foundation to take the next step and bring it all to PC in a way that honors both the Chief's legendary journey and the PC features and conventions that players wanted to see Halo take advantage of. So, MCC for PC. Later this year, these classic Halo experiences will start to arrive on PC via the Microsoft Store and, for the first time in the series, on Steam. This is an incredibly exciting opportunity for us to bring the Halo universe and Master Chief story to a new audience and to offer PC gamers a chance to step into the franchise on the PC platform of their choice. The Master Chief's arrival on PC will happen in stages, with each title releasing one by one over time, giving the development teams the ability to ensure each one is right while giving players a chance to jump in right away rather than having to wait for the entire suite of games to be completed. Our current plan is for the journey to begin with the launch of Halo Reach, the fictional beginnings of Master Chief's saga, with the rest of the titles following in chronological order thereafter. Halo Reach, Halo CE, Halo 2, Halo 3, and Halo 3 ODST's campaign, and Halo 4 will each be available for individual purchase within MCC as they become available, and each game will evolve and grow over time with community input. For the team at 343 Industries, the most important and critical element of this project is ensuring that MCC delivers a true, quote, first class, unquote, experience on PC. We're embarking on a journey with our community to build a real PC experience that delivers on PC gamer expectations. The team is passionately committed to ensuring that all the features, bells, and whistles expected in a modern PC title are included within MCC. These features may vary somewhat by title, and we won't get everything in there all at once. This is a product and experience that will grow and evolve over time. We are laying the groundwork for PC native features such as excellent mouse and keyboard controls, support for multiple resolutions and aspect ratios, field of view sliders, and adjustable frame rates, to name a few. And yes, there will be support for Xbox gamepads and other PC controllers. Remember Reach. Along with Bring MCC to PC, the next loudest refrain from Halo fans has been to add Reach to MCC, and we're excited to make good on both requests later this year. As part of MCC, the prequel to Halo Combat Evolved looks and plays better than ever and will arrive in slightly different ways depending upon your platform of choice. MCC's Intelligent Delivery feature on Xbox One allows players to pick and choose to install campaign and or multiplayer content, and Reach will be offered in the same way. On Xbox One specifically, Halo Reach's multiplayer content, which includes Forge and Theater, will be automatically included for everyone who owns MCC, while Halo Reach's campaign and firefight experiences will be offered together as a premium digital add-on. Xbox Game Pass subscribers will have access to the entirety of Halo Reach within MCC as part of their subscription, and just like the rest of the titles in MCC, Halo Reach is silky smooth at 60 FPS and visually stunning in 4K HDR on compatible hardware. Halo Reach will look and play just as great when it lands on the Microsoft Store and Steam and include PC-specific features and options. Campaign, multiplayer, and firefight will come packaged together for purchase as the first step in this PC journey. Teamwork makes the dream work. Bringing all these classic games together and integrating the huge matrix of features and experiences PC gamers and Halo fans deserve and expect is a monumental undertaking. It's no secret that the bulk of the team at 343 Industries is hard at work realizing the future of the franchise with Halo Infinite, so the same amazing publishing team who diligently brought all the recent improvements and updates to MCC over the last year has invited a few friends to help us achieve victory. The experienced and passionate folks at Splash Damage and Ruffian are partnering with us to help make this dream a reality. Splash Damage co-founder and CEO Richard Jolly says, and I quote, "For almost 20 years, Splash Damage has had multiplayer gaming at its very core. Being part of the team bringing this legendary franchise to PC for the very first time is a tremendous honor for everyone here at Splash Damage, and we're excited for Halo fans around the world to play what we're hard at work on." End quote. Another quote, "We love Halo and are mind-blown to bring this franchise back to PC. 343 has assembled an amazing team who are working hard to build the Halo PC experience fans deserve," says the team at Scotland-based Ruffian Games. "It's a privilege to be along for the ride." And looking ahead, additionally, we know many of you will have questions, so stay tuned to Halo Waypoint where we'll have plenty more to say, share, and show on the road to release. The team at 343 Industries, along with our partners at Splash Damage and Ruffian, are already hard at work, and we can't wait to bring the community along on this journey. On behalf of the entire 343 Industries team, thank you to everyone who's continued to play and support Halo and MCC, and for not giving up on a dream of one day enjoying these great experiences on a PC. Big article.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Couple updates, though. First, Sketch put out a tweet, and it states there's going to be no motion blur in Reach. Will, did you play Reach at all? Never did.
Okay. If you go back onto an Xbox 360, and you put in your disc copy of Reach, actually, fuck it. If you have an Xbox One, which you do, and you put in a copy of Halo Reach, and you start it up, you will notice that there is a lot of motion blur in that game. Now, at the time, it looked fine. And the art style of Reach looks great regardless. But the motion blur, no. It's going bye-bye. And I'm excited. I can't wait. Yes, you just heard me say that I can't wait for something about Halo Reach. Let it be known. How about some community thoughts? Let's get into it. First up, Ogre2 states, "I am so scared for this. There's so many things still wrong with the Xbox version, and I can't help but feel like they could be shooting themselves in the foot with this if it's not fixed during the transfer over to PC."
You kind of share the same reservations, right?
Absolutely. Yep. If for people who use the same analogy, for people who are using wearing rose tinted glasses when MCC first released on Xbox One, it was a disaster, an absolute disaster. Campaigns worked for the most part. Achievements weren't popping all the time, which was annoying, and multiplayer basically just didn't work. And it was seriously a nightmare. So And like Ogre 2 states, there are still issues with the updated version of MCC that's out right now. There still is. So hopefully, now they did say that the PC version and whatnot is coming out later this year. So it will be 2019, right? Because Infinite's going to come out in 2020. Mark my words. Hopefully they're able to fix everything with the Xbox version first. And then with all that in mind, bring out a fully featured, fully functional MCC on PC. But yes, I do hold those same reservations just because we've been burned so hard in the past. And I know they're learning, and I know they've learned from their problems before, and they're having a lot more communication with everybody, which is fantastic. I'm going to keep my expectations in check. Sound good?
I think one thing I'm worried about is if it comes out on PC,
yes,
and it doesn't run well.
Yep.
I mean, we talked about it a little bit already, not on the show, so here we go. You have big streamers looking at playing this game. Summit, Shroud said he'd try it with his audience. Who knows what's going to happen from there?
Right, and Summit voiced like straight up, like he's excited.
Yeah,
he's legitimately excited for this.
If it comes out, they hop on and it doesn't work, there goes a lot of momentum for you.
Yep. Exactly.
Just down the drain.
Well, you saw, like with Apex Legends, right? You saw the amount of streamers and content creators who were paid to play that game. It is massive. People are still talking about it, but another reason why people are still talking about it even after they've stopped playing is because the Battle Pass is getting released, right? That is a free-to-play games as a service model type experience. MCC is not that, but just the sake of, from the very get-go, and I'm not saying 343 is going to be paying people to play it at first, because people have already expressed their interest to play it regardless, but you're right, if it doesn't work to the expectations that they're expecting, oh man, that could be even more devastating than when MCC released on Xbox One back in the day and didn't work. Like, this could be exponentially worse.
Because that could mean that would take away from Infinite releasing on PC as well. People are going to be like, oh, they messed up MCC. Do I really want to spend the money on Infinite right now when MCC didn't work?
No, people, and I know you realize this, but other people need to realize that it's not the same team that are working on both.
No, yeah, people aren't going to look at it that way, though.
I know, but like we do. It's the thing that we just, as this podcast, right, we kind of owe it to people to be like, hey, in case you don't know, there are two technically separate teams within the same company working on these experiences. You have a dedicated team working on MCC, and now we have two outside groups working on MCC for PC, right? And then you have your core Infinite team who are not working on MCC and MCC on PC. They're just working on Infinite. So, but yeah, it's all public perception, right? Mm-hmm. If it doesn't work, then, I mean, the only thing people are going to think about is the negative stuff.
Yep. And at the end of the day, it's 343 with their name on that.
Yes.
And Microsoft.
Yep.
So it's, to a lot of people, it's coming from one place.
Yep. It's going to be something, man.
It is.
It is going to be something.
How they handle the next, I say, year and a half.
Yeah.
Now that I've been thinking about Infinite.
Uh-oh.
And I think it might even be a 2021 release.
Ooh, you think 2021?
Just because the timing of this and I don't know, I would say early 2021.
I'm saying fall 2020.
I could see like November 2020.
Yeah, fall 2020, yeah.
Right before the holiday rush, so to speak.
I can totally see that happening.
I've seen on Twitter, people are still now being hired for like art of Infinite. You know, like you think if it was coming out in the next year, that a lot of that would be cemented already.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
Like I've said it, and I will say it till the cows come home. I'm saying that Infinite releases in 2020. That is my, like, you can take it to the bank. That is my statement that you can take to the bank. Infinite will release in 2020.
Where did you pull Till the cows come home.
I don't know. It popped into my head.
I'm sorry.
It's a statement that's been around for a long time.
It has
hasn't
been. Yeah. It's probably for farmers when they would have to like wrangle the cows back in.
For the record, I'm not a farmer.
Yeah.
At all.
That's probably where it came from. But anyway, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Like you're really fixated on that one. It's
Derailed
okay.
the show for a minute. Okay.
It's okay. You made a blowjob joke while you're at McDonald's, so you know what are you gonna do? No one's gonna understand what the fuck I just said there, but that's okay. But yeah, so I completely understand where Ogre 2 is coming from on this, and I agree wholeheartedly because we had expectations when it released on Xbox One, and it did not meet those expectations whatsoever. Now there is a lot that goes into it because there's basically 5 different engines that are being worked on, and they probably had contractual obligations. I would love to hear the backstory on MCC's development on Xbox One. Oh, I would love if there was a documentary on that comes out, but like, oh boy. But yeah, that was one statement. Then Frank O'Connor, who works at 343, as a matter of fact, put out a little bit more of a lengthier statement here in regards to MCC on PC and kind of the developmental process behind it. So this is Frankie's thoughts, and I quote, "I can only repeat what Phil said, which is that our intent is to make the PC game available to PC players where and how they're playing. That doesn't mean a stripped out Linux build, but to be honest, we're not being cagey for the sake of it. Even Steam itself means building components to play nice with the store and its infrastructure. The same thing would be true of any new landing spot for the project. It's not just a port. It's really a quite serious challenge to not only get the various components up and running on PC architecture at fidelity, but also properly translate some elements that were built with consoles in mind, and in a couple of cases, 4:3 standard definition aspect ratio content at the very root level of some of its original design principles. Obviously, over the years of the MCC project, the anniversary releases and backwards compatibility have pushed the games closer to what the minimum expectations for PC are, but things that weren't there originally, like aspect ratio, field of view, key mapping, have very serious design implications. At the HCS finals this weekend, folks were asking why we announced it, quote, so far from launch, end quote. And the reality is that it's such a large challenge to do it right that it would have been reasonable to think of it as a normal game announcement, which can sometimes be years out. It will be here a lot faster than that, and just pointing it out for chronology of game announcements as an example. We've already done a great deal, and the team is really excited about the potential of not just putting the games on the new platform, but doing both the games and the PC gamers justice too, so that people end up hopefully with the game they imagined or hoped for this whole time, and that it feels right as a Halo game and as a PC game. That's why the answer to, quote, will there be crossplay, end quote, is still not cut and dry. It's certainly possible technically, so the testing and tuning will have to include questions about matchmaking, controller versus mouse and keyboard, populations and their respective tastes, security, etc., etc. The easy answer would be, yes, options, right? But again, we don't want to compromise the PC version to do that. Flighting will obviously help us shake out lots of technical issues, but it will also provide a ton of user playstyle feedback, and the fuzzy subjective stuff that emerges from how PC players use it. If you played the Halo 5 Forge multiplayer component on PC, you'll also notice that the console origin of that suite means that on average, some WASD players feel that there's about one control function too many for natural setups and player movement. Not an issue on a controller because the ability to use all the main triggers, bumpers, buttons, and clicks. This is specific to Halo 5 because of the increased mobility, but the original Halo CE, despite starring as a Mac title, was really Xbox specific, and the design was crafted in tandem with the development of the OG Xbox controller. It's not just buttons, necessarily, but also a designer intent. So that's one of the less clear-cut challenges to get right, making these games feel like they were built for PC from the get-go. A lot of the audience will be Halo console players and fans, but there will also be folks new to the series too, and we want to show up well for them too without changing the fundamental core of each original game. It's not rocket science, but it also kind of is a bit. So there you go. We're still waiting on that crossplay. But in the words of HCS Pro Talk, we'll just have to wait and see. Next up, King Abyss states, MCC coming to PC is going to be fantastic, and I hope, but I'm super optimistic. Snipe states, I'm glad PC players are going to be able to test the game out. I'm crossing my fingers for crossplay so I can join up on playdates. Gonna stick to console because I'm on a budget. And then High Tech Redneck states, as for the Reach and PC announcement, I'm pumped. Not the biggest fan of Reach or playing on PC, but seeing how hyped the community is for it makes me really hopeful and excited for what it will hopefully do for the Halo scene. Was also glad to hear that flighting with the Insider program should be starting pretty soon. All in all, I think it's been a pretty awesome week to be a Halo fan. Go ahead.
And then, one thing, do you think that, so like High Tech Redneck just said, the Halo scene is really excited about this. And yes, we said some big names are going to play MCC.
Yes. Yep.
And Halo coming to PC. Do you think it's going to draw more of a crowd in than what's already there?
So, well, going back to what Snipe said, right? You and I had talked about it where you don't really think it's that big of a deal, right?
Right.
MCC coming to PC. So, what you and I talked about, I think it was with the PC population being as large as it is, I think the fact that, and I thought about it a little bit further as well, the last time a Halo game, a full-blown, I'm not talking about this Halo 5 Forge thing, okay? But a full-blown Halo game released on PC by Microsoft was Halo 2 Vista. Okay, think about that. Windows Vista. Way back. Okay? And the funny thing is that you needed Windows Vista in order to play it. Like, that's why it was called Halo 2 for Vista. Okay? Before that, and no, I'm not, okay, for the record here, I'm not including like Spartan Assault and Spartan Strike, because those they were technically Windows games as well. Okay? But I'm talking about full mainline Halo releases. And the one before that was Halo CE on Halo on PC. Okay, it's been a long time. It's been a very long time since a Halo game, a mainline Halo release, has come to PC. People have been missing it. Hence why we have Halo Online. We have El Dorito. We have Installation 01. We have a couple other fan-made games that are coming out. Right? People want Halo on PC. Now, yes, it's a lot more of the dedicated crowd that are playing those, right? Don't get me wrong. But the fact that I can go on Steam right now, and there's a store page for Halo, the Master Chief Collection. Like, I think it's a lot bigger. Okay, for us, the announcement is like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Like, people play it. Or not, whatever. But for the average Joe out there, and they're scrolling on Steam, because I bet it'll be a top seller at first when it first comes out. So like your average Joe that goes on Steam and sees Halo, the Master Chief Collection, the top sellers list, and they're like, wait, Halo? Like, actually, like Halo? Let me click on that. Oh. And then they could think, wait, wasn't this broken when it came out on the Xbox? Or they could think, oh, wow, it's all here. No shit. And then depending upon the price,
I think it's going to be 60.
You think it's going to be $60?
I think it's going to be 60 for that many games, for having two studios coming in from the outside, and all that content they have to move over to PC. I think it's going to be 60.
So for the record, we talked about it before, and it's not on that recording, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'll keep with my initial statement. I think it's going to be 40. I'm going to stick with it. I'm probably wrong in this case, very much so, but I would be happily surprised if they came out with it for $40, because you will have to buy a new copy. Okay. We're going to get to this AMA that happened, really shortly here, but you will need to buy it again on PC. Okay. So now, Will, we talked about this as well. If it is 60, right? Do I want to pay $60 for it? No. Will I? Yeah, that's fuck, because they know, like, they know I'm going to be paying $60 if it's $60. Like, I'll buy it no matter what, but whatever. You know what? Thinking about it further, because they did state that they're going to be releasing them separately on PC, and you can buy them as they release separately. Maybe they will all add up to be $60. Maybe it's like $10 per. Because what we have Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, ODST's campaign,
And Reach.
So it's like kind of 5.5. It's like 5.5, really. You're not getting Firefight and in ODST, and ODST didn't have its own separate multiplayer. It just had more maps for 3. I'd still love it to be 40, though. I think it makes more sense to be 60, like you said, with the 2 teams coming in and all that, and everybody all hands on deck with that. But, man, it's already been out for so long, but they are adding new features. It's a toss-up for me. I'm going to stick with my guns, though. I'm going to stick with my original statement. I'm going to say 40.
Okay.
I'm going to say 40. And then, in regards to what High Tech Redneck said with the insider flighting, well, guess what? Speaking of the Halo Insider program, the Halo Insider program got announced. This is a Halo Waypoint article, and I quote, "Become a Halo Insider. The Halo Insider program is the new way Halo fans and community members can partner with 343 Industries to improve our games, products, and services. As a Halo Insider, you'll have the opportunity to regularly provide feedback and insights that help shape and inform current franchise initiatives and the future of Halo. You will also be given exclusive opportunities to participate in public flights of in-progress Halo game releases and provide feedback to development teams." Public flighting. Halo Insiders who choose to opt in to console or PC flighting will be considered for early access play sessions with in-development Halo games. Every improvement to Halo the Master Chief Collection over the past year was the direct result of insiders participating in flights and sharing feedback to the development team. Each public flight has specific goals, meaning not all insiders will be selected for every flight. To increase your chances for selection, make sure your Halo Insider settings are complete and accurate. And remember, you can always come back to update your settings or opt out of the program. Community feedback. Halo Insiders provide ongoing community feedback for sharing their thoughts and perspectives with the team at 343 Industries via periodic surveys. Over the years, these surveys, formerly part of the Halo Community Feedback Program, or HCFP, have provided invaluable insights that helped inform everything from in-game weapon tuning and playlist updates to future consumer products and merchandise roadmaps. Halo as a game and franchise doesn't exist without its passionate fan base, and we look forward to our community to ensure that your input is at the center of everything we do. Frequently asked questions. Have questions regarding the Halo Insider program, surveys, or procedures? You can read up on the most frequently asked questions here on Halo Waypoint in the Halo Insider Forum. This forum is also a great place to pose questions and connect with other members of your Halo Insider community. Over time, we'll pin and share important insider information here in the same forum, so stay tuned. And in the link of the Google Doc of the show notes of the show, you can check out the FAQ that is in there. So, flighting is back, and the other thing that we need to state right now, if you were already a member of the MCC flight program before, you will need to re-register. The information does not carry over. So, re-register if you were registered previously, or if you're not registered at all, go ahead and get yourself registered. I just said registered a lot. Next up, sketch announced in our gaming AMA in regards to Halo Insider and or MCC for PC and or Reach, where you can ask them almost anything. And guess what? Since we're recording right now, that AMA has already concluded, Will. Therefore, we can talk about it for a split second here. So I'm just going to read, we'll include the link to everything that was answered. I loved this. When I heard this AMA was going to take place, the only thing I could think to myself is, oh no, how are we going to scrub through and find all the answers to all the questions that were given, right? Well, guess what? They already did the work for us. So in the Google Doc of the show notes of the show, check out the results of this AMA. I'm going to hit on some brief points. Okay, here we go. Release and price. Estimate of Reach flight. Team working on first audience based on needs of game, also working on solid first pass of PC UI controls before release. Halo Insider player selection process. They want to accept as many people as possible against specific needs for that particular flight. Release order. Halo Reach is priority. Halo CE is being worked on in parallel. Games will release, quote, when ready, end quote. Purchase options. Individually as each game releases within MCC or as a whole at the end. Cannot purchase all games in a bundle before they all have released. Huh. Okay. And for the price, there's more details to follow. They don't want to say it's $60 quite yet. It basically is what that means. PC experience. PC system requirements will be determined during the flighting results. Okay. Windows support. Windows 10 and Windows 7. Yes, Windows 8 is being investigated. Okay, if you're on Windows 8, you need to upgrade or get the fuck out. Don't be on that. That's the worst Metro-style update of Windows. Get rid of that. Frame rate. Goal is unlocked frames in all titles, but may vary from title to title. Keyboard and mouse controls. Great keyboard and mouse controls is top priority. Will come with some balance changes, whether that means balancing each weapon to compensate for increased accuracy and precision of mouse and keyboard, or if it means adding some kind of balance to allow mouse and keyboard and controller users to still have an enjoyable experience together is unclear. FOV slider. Yes, level of FOV will vary from title to title. Centered crosshairs, currently being investigated. Ultra-wide support. Windowed mode, 21:9, 16:9, 16:10, 3:2, and 4:3. Those are aspect ratios, for those who don't know. PC crossplay. Yes, across Windows Store and Steam. Okay? That was a given though, right? Because you have to log in with an Xbox Live profile in order to access it anyway. So you'd have to have crossplay on PC. Okay. Anti-cheat. Yes, more details to come. CE map support. In other words, custom edition map support. Actively exploring how to bring custom edition content to PC. Very nice. Okay. That can maybe hint at, here we go. Mod support. Working closely with modding community to provide, quote, official mod support, end quote, after launch. Launch priority is making the games feel, quote, right, unquote, and security and anti-cheat. There you go. People were wondering about mod support. They're working for it. They're going to try to get it in there. I'm surprised. I didn't think they were going to. I honest to God did. I thought Microsoft was going to be like, no. Let's keep things kind of pinned down here as best we can. But good for them. That's awesome. Server browser, dedicated custom servers. Can't commit to this at this time, but a topic of discussion. Okay. Cross-platform progression. Cross-progression. Yes. Between MCC and PC version, Halo Reach progress on Xbox 360, for example, will not carry over. Stats, achievements, forged maps, and game variants will all carry over. Game saves will not. So, in other words, MCC on your Xbox One to PC, everything should transfer. Everything should be there. Reach, on the other hand, no. Keep that in mind. Xbox PC crossplay. Not currently committed to for launch, but actively investigating. Womp womp. Play anywhere. And here's what I'm talking about. You're going to have to buy it again. MCC on PC will not be a part of the Play Anywhere program, but investigating options for those who have purchased MCC on Xbox One. Maybe mine will be $40 then, Will. You know what?
I have a disc. Not gonna do me.
No, maybe that could be it. Maybe it's where if you have not purchased this before, right, and you're purchasing it for the very first time and it's on PC, $60. If you already have it on the Xbox One, maybe $40. And there's maybe it has to be digital. I don't know.
I think it would have to be.
Yeah, like certificates and whatnot.
Yeah, you could transfer a disc.
Very true. Very true. So maybe it's something that they're able to look forward. Maybe it's something they can look into attached to your Xbox Live profile. And then if it is, maybe you get a discount. Who knows? Then the real question is, do you have to purchase it through the Windows Store in order for all that to tie in, or am I still going to be able to buy it on Steam?
No, I think it'll have to be all through the Windows Store.
Yeah, I know. I was just being hopeful.
Sure.
But it is what it is. MCC updates. This is the last piece. Armor customization. Mix and match customization, and for Reach, not Halo 3 or other titles, unlocked via in-game progression, no monetization. Very nice. Forge quality of life and improvements. Forge will be releasing after initial release as it requires much more effort and time. Reach multiplayer playlists. No specific on playlists yet, but will look at community feedback and input to make experience better. Firefight. Reach will have Firefight. ODST Firefight is not a priority at this time because focus is on ODST campaign for PC. Local split screen. Team is looking at what can be supported. In-game terminals, more details to follow. So, there we go. Nice little AMA. There's a lot more information. That was just like a top level thing. There's a lot more information in the link that's in the show notes. Check it out. You can read up on all the responses. Will, would you be able to do me a favor? We have, looks like some Installation 01 updates. Would you be able to read that for me, please?
All right. So, yeah, we had an Installation 01 update by Tosh. And he is on Twitter, and he stated, for all of you asking, quote, what does Halo MCC coming to PC mean for Installation 01, end quote. This post is for you. I'll be answering questions in the comments here for a bit if you have any. Heart Tosh. He also posted a picture. So what this means for Installation 01. As all of you are fully aware at this point, Halo MCC is coming to PC. This has led a lot of you to question, where does this leave fan projects like Installation 01 and others? It's a good question I hope to answer for you today. Our goal with Installation 01 was never to be a replacement for any of the old games, nor was it to ever be any of the old games. We always wanted to bring something new to the table. We're quite fond of the phrase, a new classic experience. This holds true today, just as it did before. While yes, we are just another multiplayer arena shooter in the Halo universe, we are not really like any other in particular. We have the ability and desire to do things that have never been seen before, experiment with new ideas, and get the community involved in making all of them. As some of you may have already know, our alpha plan is to develop the game alongside you, almost as an early access model but done right. We'll have incremental releases, patches, balancing changes, all made with your feedback. This is as much your game as it is ours. Once we have the core gameplay loop in place, we are in an incredibly unique situation where we can break free from the confines of what Halo is and look towards what it could be through more fun ideas that have never been explored before. So how does this affect Installation 01? In short, it doesn't. So as long as you want to play a new classic experience with never before seen game modes, weapons, and more. We have our place in that lineup just as we did before this announcement. We'll keep going as long as you are all here to support us. Thank you truly for all the amazing support you've shown us thus far, and we hope you all have a wonderful holiday. Installation 01.
Very nice.
Thoughts on that?
No, I think it's good to hear that their focus is on doing what they want to do, right? They're not letting this MCC on PC announcement get in the way of their vision and what they want to do. And there's plenty of space to share, you know? We always say that more Halo is good Halo. And with not only Installation 01, but like the Sins of the Prophets mod, there's oh my god, there's the two other fan projects. Potacular did an interview with one of the groups. There's so much cool custom Halo stuff that's coming out. But yeah, I'm just glad that this isn't hindering their creative vision for what they want to do. Good shit. Will, believe it or not, man, that's it for the news. Without further ado, would you talk about some tournaments, please?
All right. First up, we had the Balance Patch Halo 3 MCC tournament results. First place went to Team Trash, which included Kevin Clutch and Gunstrafe. Second was Team Rat, which was Haunter and Rubino. Third was Addy Esports, Yak, and JR2. Fourth was South Shore Scrubs, Barry and Rooney. Fifth and sixth was Sharknado, which included Yildarb and Insom. And then Team Bruh, which was Damage and Deadlie. And then seventh was Mill Pond Maulers, which included Dome Cutter and Belushi. Bracket will be included within the Google Doc of the show. Next up, we had the UGC Double Down Week 4 results. First place went to PNN, Private 99, and King Nick taking home $100. Second place was Swell Fellas, which included Naps and Notorious. Third and fourth, we had a Threest, which was Foster Child and Big Ol' Bacon. And then XBC Champs, which was H1 Doughboy and Pac-Man. 5th through 8th, we had Flurkins, which included Mazer Mice and Enigma. Team Zach Paul, which was LD50 and Palshi. Campaign Warriors, which was Poseidon's BR and BX Soldier. And then Team Broadside, which was Encourage and True Elite.
And then, Will, we actually have the UGC Double Down week number 5 results. As a matter of fact, first place went to XBC Champs, consisting of H1 Doughboy and Pac-Man, taking home $100. Second place went to Swell Fellas, consisting of Naps and Notorious. Third, fourth went to A Threest, consisting of Foster Child and Murph Mantacular. And then Zach and Paul, consisting of LD50 and Palshi. And fifth was 313 Halo, consisting of Harney and Wookie Trap. Brack will be included in the show notes.
All right. Next up, we have this HWCL tourney number 5, hosted by HWTC. First place went to Almirante 99. Second, EOD Spartan Seb. Third and fourth, Kaboom and Mighty Hoax. 5th through 8th, we had Flame Pyman, Quickest, Shreko, and Agent Tectonic. We do have a VOD for that one, so go check it out if you're interested in some Halo Wars. Next, the Halo Draft League Spring FFA number 1 results. First place with 70 kills went to Fluriously. Second was Jolly Josh, 63 kills. Third was Bards, 59 kills. Fourth, Spa, 59 kills. Fifth, El Halo Elite, 49 kills. And sixth, Bunnies, 48 kills. Next, we have the Halo Draft League Spring FFA number 2 results.
Back to back.
First place went to One Hit with 65 kills. Second, Woo Pockets, 64 kills. Third, Fluriously, 64 kills. Fourth, Crewman, 60 kills. Fifth, Gold Star, 52 kills. And sixth, Jolly Josh with 35. A lot of close kills at the top.
Yes. A lot of close kills indeed. And you want to know something funny?
What's that?
One of those names is very familiar because one of those individuals was actually with us on a community playdate from way back in the day. It's Woo Pockets.
Woo Pockets, yes.
Yep. Way back.
Very nice.
Yes. That was back when we did Halo 5 as the main game. So, good stuff. Good stuff.
We do have some AGLA match results for you.
American Griffball League of America.
I was getting there.
I didn't know if you were. I'm sorry. I jumped the goddamn gun. I'm sorry.
All right. We had Lumbridge White Knights go up against Shadow Realm. Game score was 5-2. Shadow Realm took that home. And then again, we had Lumbridge White Knights go up against Shadow Realm. Game score 5-4 going to Shadow Realm. VODs will be included if you're interested in some Griffball action as well. And that's all we have for tournaments this week. Josh.
Yes.
Mr. JK Fire.
Yes. Will, a.k.a. I am Mr. Mayhem. Do you know what it's time for?
No idea.
It is... The days are blurring, the segments are blurring together. We don't even know what the fuck is going on anymore, but we actually have their HCS Invitational post-show. So, how I have this... Let's kind of break it down here. This is how I have things set up for this segment. We're going to go through each piece of the tournament, not really as they happen, but yeah, just each piece of the tournament separated, okay? So, first and foremost, we had the FFA.
Yes.
Okay? It was not streamed.
Unfortunately.
Yes. And this was, now, I love what Tashi was doing, okay? Tashi was out there on Twitter all the time saying, after every major segment that happened within the tournament, hey, what did you guys think about this? Hey, what did you guys think about this? Right? Great. Loved him being out there in front of it all, looking for the feedback. It was fantastic. My one major criticism, I guess I could say about this event is that stream the FFA. Stream the finals. Just the finals is fine.
Sure.
Because we talked about before that in London, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryanoob.
Yeah, that was amazing to watch.
It was. You get to see his methodical approach to either taking on challenges. Like you would see players go past him and he wouldn't engage because there'd be more than one of them. Neither of them would be low shields. He'd be putting himself in a disadvantageous situation. we don't get to see that stuff if it's not being streamed. So my one criticism, stream the FFA finals next time. Try to find a little bit of time in there. Other than that, congratulations to Rhino for winning the $5,000 free-for-all.
Nice hefty prize for FFA.
Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Will, next up, I'm going to let you read through the results, but I'm going to set it up. Okay? We had the Halo 3 2v2 Throwdown.
I knew you were going there.
Oh yeah, I had to get it going.
So here we go. For the Throwdown, rosters are as follows. Coming from the Northeast, we had Snakebite and World Famous. Southeast, Pistola and Missy. Central was Flamesword and Gideon. Gaiden, I'm sorry. And West was Straight Sick and Drizzy.
Do you want to explain how this was set up?
So, from the Microsoft Store 2v2s,
Yes.
a player was invited from each region
Yes.
to compete and play alongside a pro.
From that region. Yes.
So that's how you got your teams.
There you go.
So here we go. We'll set up the series. Semifinals, because there's only 4 teams. Single elimination.
Yep, basically.
Game 1, Slayer on the pit. We started off with Northeast versus Central. First game went to Northeast 25-13.
Hefty win.
All these games will be Slayer, by the way, so I'm just
Yes.
going to read through them. Next was a Slayer on Construct, 25-10, going to Northeast. Northeast takes the series 2-0. Northeast moves on to the finals.
Very convincing fashion, too.
Yes, very much so. Next we had West versus Southeast. Game 1 was Slayer on the pit. I'm just going to continue to say Slayer because it's rolling off the tongue here. 25-12, going to Southeast. Game 2, Slayer on Construct. Much closer game, 25-22, but still going to Southeast. Southeast moves on, 2-0. In the finals, we have Northeast versus Southeast. Game 1, Slayer on Narrows. 25-17, going to Southeast. Game 2, Slayer on Guardian. 25-24, Southeast takes it home. Very close game. Game 3, Slayer on Heretic. 25-22, going to Northeast. In Game 4, Slayer on Construct. 25-20, Southeast takes a 3-1 series win over Northeast. And Pistola and Missy take it home.
Beautiful.
They also got $3,000 for that.
Hot damn.
For a 4-player tournament. For team tournament.
Yeah, 4-team tournament, yeah.
$3,000.
Yep, $3,000 for 4 teams.
Freaking grand.
Yep.
Second place took home $1,500, and third and fourth each got $250.
Very nice. Very nice. And just want to give a quick shout out to the 4 Microsoft Store players that came out. Like, they played really well.
Yeah.
Like, really, really well. And as we're about to talk about in the next segment here, they actually got to play a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Who's next up?
Is the Big Team Battle Bonanza.
All right. So for this, we pitted Walshy versus Golden Boy.
Yes. 2 of the best shit talkers
So
towards one another.
Yeah. So Team Walshy included Walshy, obviously, Snipe Down, Ubernick, Action Man, Missy, Unishek, Shyway, and Dursky. Team Golden Boy was Golden Boy, Clutch, Snakebite, Lunchbox, Stress, Roy, World Famous, and Proximity.
So for those who might not recognize all the names that are in those rosters, they include pro players, the Microsoft Store players, 343 employees, HCS grassroots members, casters, so on and so forth. So just like a hodgepodge of anybody in the Halo community, which is great. Just great.
Right. So here we go. Oh, and to set up the series,
Yes.
they didn't have a layout. They had a wheel.
No, that was for the next
Oh, that
one.
was the next one?
Yeah.
I thought they had a wheel for this one too.
Nope.
My bad.
It's okay.
I'm moving on stuff
It's okay.
around in my
Jumping
mind.
the gun. I jumped the gun
got
with
excited.
the AGLA stuff.
Map 1, multi-flag on Valhalla. Winner was Team Walshy. The shit talking started.
Oh, it was great. Walshy was feeling himself.
Laying on the fat jokes to Golden Boy.
Well, that was like, we were talking, that's when they brought the cake out.
They brought the cake out.
Yeah. They brought a fucking cake out. Golden Boy was excited, to say the least, about
Just
that
a little
cake.
bit. A little bit. Map 2, neutral assault on Avalanche. Winner was Team Golden Boy.
Ooh. Golden Boy getting out of his chair.
He was.
Screaming at Walshy across the desk.
We moved on to map 3, which is multi-flag on Sand Trap. Golden Boy taking it home again.
Can I get a toot toot?
Yes. If you during one of our community play dates, we played Sand Trap.
Yeah, it's a throwback to our Toot Toot Goes the Elephant episode.
And Josh sat in the elephant the whole time while
Scream
playing
toot, toot.
and screamed toot toot as he was driving around the map.
With the horn being honked. Hey, Golden Boy said he's like the best elephant driver in the game.
Yeah.
So you got to give props where props are due.
Map 4 was one flag on last resort. Golden Boy, his team took it home 3-1. They win the blah, blah, blah. Big team battle bonanza. Just a bunch of bees.
And then he got to eat his cake.
He got his cake and he got to eat it too.
Damn straight he did.
Here we go.
Congratulations, Golden Boy. I'm sorry I was rooting for Team Walshy in that regard.
You were.
I was. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. It was really funny. It was we'll talk about all of this later, but like all of this new stuff that they did, all this new fun stuff was just amazing.
I have to say, Golden Boy had more pros on his team.
He did.
I think he had an advantage.
Yep. He clearly did.
Just saying.
Yep. But the games were still pretty close though.
Yeah.
Like realistically speaking, they were still pretty damn close. So they did a good job of balancing those teams a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
All right. Moving on to the rival showdown. This is where they had the spinny wheel.
They did. But it landed on, I think, strongholds on the rig for Halo 5 like 2 or 3 times in a row.
Just kept passing it.
Yeah.
Rosters, we talked about it last episode, but we'll go through them again. Team Snipedown included Snipedown, Eco, Pistola, and Snakebite. Team Lethal, Lethal, APG, Ace, and Roy.
And we're both thinking that Snipedown's going to win this.
Yes. Game 1 was a Halo 2. Map was Lockout. It was a Slayer 1v1.
So how did this wheel work? Like, how did this wheel work when you spin it?
So they had different Halo titles on it, and then the game mode it would be as well.
Perfect. So it could be nearly anything. As long as it was on that wheel, it could be nearly anything.
Yep. So like I said, Halo 2 was the game. Lockout was the map. Slayer 1v1. Snipedown took it home.
Pretty handily as well.
Yeah. It was.
Yep. He did the dirty.
He was feeling himself that game.
He was.
Game 2, so he spun it again. Halo 5, Empire Super Fiesta.
Oh, Jesus.
4v4, by the way. So this was the one where
Snipedown got the Halo 1 pistol.
Yeah.
The game was over at that point.
Once he got the pistol, there was nothing nobody could do.
And I think Justin LaFleche, goalie sniper, I think he stated that at one point Snipedown had to have been like negative 10 to 12 because once he got that pistol, he got like a running riot, I think. Like, that's holy shit. That pistol's ridiculous.
How did he not run out of ammo?
Comes with a lot.
Sure.
And it only takes 3 shots. So
yeah. Game 3 was Halo 5, The Rig, Strongholds 4v4. Winner was Team Snipedown.
So realistically, the series would be done at this point.
Yep, it was a best of 5.
Yes, but
the players said they were having fun and they wanted to continue playing, so they kept playing.
Yes, and we learned that from Tashi as well, because he asked for feedback on the Rivals Showdown as well with that tweet, and I like personally replied from the podcast Twitter account saying I think like you should just stop it when the series is over, and then he replied with no, the players wanted to keep playing. Like, okay. Cool.
And they thought it was good content, which it was.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch.
Can't argue with that.
So yeah, game 4 was Halo 3, The Pit, Team Snipers. 4v4, Snipedown takes that home as well.
Well, you put a sniper in Snipedown's hands, guess what happens?
What do you know?
Yeah.
Game 5, we went back to Halo 2, Beaver Creek, captured the flag 4v4. And Snipedown took that home too. So, sorry, Lethal. You your team didn't hold up here.
I mean, we looked at that roster as well.
Yeah.
Because you were originally...
I said Lethal was going to take it until we saw the full rosters.
Yeah, because we thought that they were going to be picked at random or maybe like a draft style.
Yeah.
Right? But no, they did get to pick their teams though. So that's that.
All right, Josh.
Yes.
I'll run through the rosters, and then I'll have you jump into the series.
All right, do it up.
So 4v4 Invitational rosters.
Yes.
We had number 1 seed Tox Gaming, Snakebite, Lethal, Royal 2, APG. Number 2 seed Denial, Straight Sick, Ares, Shelly, and Commonly. Number 3 seed was Reciprocity, Snipe Down, Roy, Pistola, Lunchbox.
I don't know if those seeds are correct. I know 1 and 2 are, but I don't know if the rest.
Okay.
I just put them down.
I see.
Sorry.
I thought they were in order, man.
I know. You think that I do more work than I actually do. So
it's all good. Reciprocity, Snipe Down, Roy, Pistola, Lunchbox, Lux Gaming, Gilky, Booba Dooba, Cloud Demon D. Status Quo was Flame Sword, Ace, Assault, and Neighbor, and GMS included Gabriel, Fantasy Eco, and Goofy.
All right. Beautiful work. Let's paint the picture here. Okay, Will? So a couple episodes ago of this podcast, I sat in the chair that I'm sitting in now, and I thought about a team called Status Quo. And I told myself, and I told you guys, and I told you, Will, told the listeners of the show, mark my words, Status Quo will be placing last in this tournament, especially based off their placing in the final tournament of the UGC's Winter Series. But lo and behold, we have more information, and I will have an apology to state later on as we get to it. But I just want to say this before we get into the results and the series and all that. Maddie Rums, thank you very much for bringing this clarification to the table. Status Quo actually had to drop out at the last minute during that last UGC's Winter Series tournament. Therefore, they didn't technically place 16th in that tournament because they didn't even play. So I cannot fault them for that. I did not know that at the time. I just saw the results and I'm like, well, what the fuck happened there? So, Status Quo, I apologize for that. Let's see how you place in this tournament. Let's get into it. First up, we had the winners quarterfinal. Keep in mind that Tox and Denial have first round buys due to their placing at the UGC's Halo Classic. Okay? So they didn't have to play in the first round. But the teams that did, we had Lux Gaming going up against Status Quo. Game 1 was Capture the Flag on the Pit, 3-1 going to Status Quo. Game 2, Slayer on Construct, 50-44 going to Lux. Pay attention to the Slayer scores here in every Slayer game we talk about, and just pay attention to them. We'll get to that later. Game 3 was Oddball on Guardian, 219-217 going to Lux. 2 very close games. And finally, Game 4 was CTF on Heretic, 5-1. Lux closing it out in dominant fashion that final game. Series score 3-1. Lux moves on in the tournament. Status Quo does as well. They get dropped down to loser's bracket. So far, my bracket is okay. The next one. Again, winners quarterfinal. Reciprocity went up against GMS. Now, for those who don't recall, I also said that Reciprocity would be getting 5th place in this tournament. Because we don't know if we're going to get good or bad rec. Okay? We talk about how the term is inconsistency, right? So I put them at 5th. Let's see how my bracket pans out, shall we? Game 1, Capture the Flag on the Pit. 3-1 going to GMS. GMS coming out the gate swinging on this one. Game 2, Slayer on Construct. 50-48 going to GMS. Unfortunately, Reciprocity are not able to clutch that game out, but we'll see if there's luck on the horizon for them. Game 3, Oddball on Guardian. Reciprocity shake that loss off, take it 190-128. We have a series. Game 4, Capture the Flag on Heretic. Not to be outdone, 5-3 going to Reciprocity. We have a Game 5. Lo and behold, it's Slayer on Narrows. And yet another close Slayer game it is. This time it's 50-41 going to Reciprocity. Ladies and gentlemen, my bracket's fucked again. So, Reciprocity take the series 3-2. Reciprocity moves up in the winner bracket. GMS gets dropped down to losers. Next up, we have our winner's semifinal. Tox going up against Lux Gaming. Game 1, Capture the Flag on Heretic. 5-2 going to Tox. Game 2, Slayer on the Pit. 47-45. Another close game going to Tox, though. Game 3, King of the Hill on Construct, 250 to 172. This goes to Tox as well. Tox take the Series 3 over Lux. Lux gets dropped to losers. Tox moves on. Next up, Denial going up against Reciprocity. Game 1, Capture the Flag on Heretic. 5-2, going to Reciprocity. Game 2, Slayer on the Pit. 50 to 41. All these close Slayer games going to Reciprocity again. Game 3, King of the Hill on Construct. 250 to 170. Reciprocity with a clean 3-0 sweep over Denial. Denial gets dropped to losers. Reciprocity continues on. And again, my bracket is screwed. Next up, we have the losers quarterfinal. Denial going up against Status Quo. Loser goes home. Winner continues on in the losers bracket. Game 1, CTF on Onslaught. 4-3. Status Quo. Game 2, Slayer on Heretic. 50 to 45. Status Quo. Game 3, King of the Hill on Construct. 250 to 152. Denial. Showing a little bit of sign of life here. But you know what? Status Quo said, nah, no more. Capture the Flag on Narrows. Game 4, 1-0. Only got one cap. Status Quo takes it. They take the Series 3-1. They don't get 6th place. Denial actually does. See you later. They're moving on. Next up, Lux Gaming went up against GMS. Game 1, Capture the Flag on Onslaught. 4-3 going to GMS. Very close game. Very, very close. But not to be outdone on that. Game 2 was Slayer on Heretic. 50 to 49. Oh my God. GMS clutch out the win on this. They're one game away from sending Lux Gaming home. And game 3 was King of the Hill on Construct. 204 to 196 going to GMS. I feel so bad for Lux after this series.
So close.
All 3 games were so close.
Very close.
And you know what? It's the same thing that we talked about with Reciprocity for the longest time, is that they couldn't clutch out games. Like, especially when they were up against Tox, right? Back during Halo 5, there was always an instance where there was just a few kills or maybe a play or two that differentiated something and they just couldn't clutch it out, right? We just saw that with Lux. That King of the Hill game on Construct, right? Less than 10 seconds they need. Time is running down on the clock. GMS get oh my God, I couldn't believe it. So what was it? GMS had 3 players top gold lift. And I think it was Boo Boo Dubo that goes up the lift and gets killed. And it was at that point that another Lux Gaming member came up the gold lift. So they're on staggered spawns now. Now, from what somebody told me, and it makes total sense, is that maybe Boo Boo Dubo was calling it out as the other person was going up the lift. So there was nothing that person could have done in that regard to get out of there. But you now have 2 dead. GMS have top control via top yellow. Hill's about to spawn open street. And GMS all work their way over there. Time is dwindling down on the clock. Again, Lux need 10 seconds to win. And then you see the staggered spawns for Lux. Lux come from purple, and they aren't able to get in the hill in the time, and the clock runs out. It was heartbreaking. Just absolutely heartbreaking. And the Slayer game was no different, and the Capture the Flag game was no different as well. So, Lux, I feel for you. I know you guys are going to be just fine in other tournaments. Just keep that practice up, and hopefully this will make you want to practice even more. Clutch those games out. And GMS, not to be outdone, you guys did great as well, clutching out those games when you needed to, moving on within the tournament. Fantastic work. All right. So there you go. Lux Gaming gets sent home. Now it's time for the losers semifinal. Status Quo going up against GMS. Game 1, Capture the Flag on Narrows. 3-1, GMS. Game 2, Slayer on Amplified. 50 to 41, GMS. And game 3 was Oddball on Guardian, 175 to 156, going to GMS. GMS 3-0 sweeps Status Quo. Status Quo gets a top 4 finish. GMS moves on in the tournament. And like I said, I apologize. Clearly Status Quo practiced more than I thought they did. And Denial must not have. Or something fucking happened there. We're going to talk about that later. Okay. Will. Winners finals. Tox Reciprocity. Game 1. Capture the flag on Narrows. 2-1. Reciprocity. Close game. Game 2. Slayer on the Pit. 50-48. Reciprocity. Do you want to talk about how this one went down, Will?
Oh, yeah. This was
a doozy.
Yeah, so Tox had the lead for most of the game here. I believe they started the game up 9-1. And then I believe they increased that lead by a few more kills.
Yes, like 12-13, I think they were ahead.
So it comes down to the end. Tox is up, I think, like 48-46 at one point. Reciprocity gets a couple kills to tie it up. And it becomes a standoff.
Yes.
However, Reciprocity has 2 snipers.
And OS.
At
this time.
Yes. While they were looking for someone with OS, they weren't able to locate anyone without sticking their neck out too far.
So Tox kind of bunkered down.
Yep. And that allowed the OS player to actually go grab rockets.
Yes. Now, at this time, OS was out. So his OS had run out, but so Tox took it as at least we don't have to deal with that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, they got rockets single-handedly, no problem.
Yep. After they picked up rockets, they got a kill from somewhere. It wasn't shown on stream. I don't know who got it or where it came from, but Reciprocity goes up 49-48. Everyone's like, oh my God. You know, it's getting tense. Everyone, like, Tox seems to be tightening down even more. People aren't really moving.
Yep.
They're just barely peeking to see.
They're in their flag and their snipe tower is where they are, based off what the next play was.
Yep. So once Rockets rotates back
towards
training and around where OS spawns, Pistola and Roy. I'm pretty sure it was Roy that had the rockets. Both push up towards
snipe tower.
Great play. You have rockets and another player. You can at least get a 1-for-1 trade and win the game.
Yep.
If you do run into someone. So what they end up doing is they just rotate towards snipe tower and Lethal is there. And he must have got the call out that they were pushing because all of a sudden he jumps out of snipe tower back towards flag.
Yep.
And I believe it was Lunch, who just hit a perfect headshot on him.
Yep.
And clutched out the game.
It was a great, like, bait and switch is what you could technically call that.
Yeah, you got 2 players to make the team move into a position where you were able to spot them and he had a pretty clear shot.
Yes.
Granted, it was a scope and he had to move that reticle quick to get that shot and it was perfectly placed.
Yes.
But yeah, great job by Reciprocity to clutch out the game.
Yes. They finally did it. They did what we've been waiting for them to do for a very long time. And that is make the clutch decisions, be in advantageous situations, win the game. And they did just that. Now, what we have tend to see, though, is that Tox, when they lose, they don't like to lose again. Okay? So let's get in through the rest of the series here. Game 3 was oddball on Guardian, 176-134, going to Tox. Maybe we're about to see a little bit of a change. And the other thing is, the thing to talk about with this oddball game, this was the game where Reciprocity just weren't able to get a setup going at all during the entire situation. It was just Tox were always being a nuisance to them. Reciprocity, they would grab the ball for like some chump change, but they would never get a full setup going. They would have to consistently rotate. One
thing I noticed is oftentimes when they were grabbing the ball, they were trading a death for it. Like someone would die while someone else picked up the ball and then had to rotate. And they just never seemed, they never seemed to get back and have that strong setup.
Exactly. And it cost them because Tox wins the game 176 to 134. Game 4, capture the flag on Heretic. What a bonkers game this was. 5-4 going to Tox. We have another game 5, but before we talk about game 5, we need to talk about that Roy play. So for those who don't know, you can check out the VODs. You need to see this because I've never seen something like this. Well, I haven't seen something like this in years. So again, it's on Heretic. 3 out of the 4 members on Rec and Tox are dead. Okay. Roy's the only member left on Reciprocity. He's able to sneak into the bottom of Tox's base. Again, only person alive on the team. He's able to sneak underneath the base of Tox, take the lift up, I think he took lift up, grabs flag, scores it all by himself. Now, yes, he had help like once his teammates spawned back up, but the fact of the matter is, he was the only one alive. You would think in normal competitive play, right? Normal pro play, that one player wouldn't be doing that. That one player would be taking a step back, watching for the other people on the enemy team and telling his teammates where they are, right? Trying to play a little bit more of a defensive role. Because when you have 3 dead, you take that as an advantageous situation, you start making a push. Now, maybe it's because Reciprocity realized that Tox also had 3 dead, that they're like, they're not going to be able to spawn up in time. Let's take advantage of the situation that we have and go for it.
Well, what you run into there on a CTF game is if they have 3 dead and you push into their base, they spawn on the 50-yard line. And now you have to fight back while your team is still spawning in your base.
Right. Very true.
Very odd decision to move forward.
Yep. And he still got it.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing. If he wouldn't have got it, then the casters would have been like, that was a bad move. Why would he do something like that? But it worked. And the weird thing, if you're Tox and you spawn in those locations, you have to know there's someone blocking spawns on the other side. Right. Then they didn't go back for it. Exactly.
Reciprocity was able to get the slays and they got it home.
It was unbelievable. Like it was, I don't know if it was dumb luck. I don't know if it was just the best play that Roy just thought of and he's like, I'm fucking doing it. It's looking back at this crazy.
You want to back in Halo 5, Splice was able to take down Tox. They were kind of the top dogs for a little bit there.
Yeah.
And it was because of their aggressive play style that shocked Tox.
Yes.
Maybe the Tox just wasn't expecting this aggressive of a play style in a slower moving game.
Could have been.
And Reciprocity just brought that to it.
What I'm even more surprised of, it was Roy that did it.
Yeah.
Like Roy is known as a slayer in that game. He is one of the best Halo 3 BRs in the world. Okay. Like hands down. Lunchbox is known as a more objective player, as a more support player. Okay. When I saw Roy doing that,
maybe what if Lunch was like, hey man, just go take the flag. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Like that was, they still lost that game? Yeah,
they did.
They still lost that game. Like, but flag cap was nuts.
Yeah, well, Reciprocity got 2 back-to-back.
Yes.
I think Tox went up 2-0, right?
I thought Rec was on the board once at first.
Oh, maybe they did.
But there was a lot of counter caps.
It was very back and forth with the counter caps.
There were a lot of counter caps.
Yes. So I think, crazy game.
But this whole tournament's been unbelievable so far. But that Roy play was like, oh my God. Okay, we're doing some fancy shit. I'm down. Roy's wearing his fancy pants along with his bandana. So that was game 4. We do have actually a game 5 to talk about here. Game 5 was Slayer on Construct, 50-44. Remember how I said that every damn Slayer game that we're talking about has been really close? This one's no exception. But in a turn of events, Reciprocity take it, and they take the series 3-2. They send Tox to losers. Tox are officially in the grand finals and have placed top 2. Guaranteed. That was way better than my prediction.
And mine.
And you know what? I'll say this, though, is that when we made those predictions, right? When we made those bracket predictions, or the placing predictions, I mean, my thought process was my heart wants Rec to win, right? My heart always does. But I finally put my mind ahead of it and was just, you know what? We don't know what we're going to get. It's been such a weird, really weird lead up to this tournament. We had the UGC kerfuffles that happened, and like teams didn't want to compete. Teams dropped out early of those tournaments to get people practice. There were scrims that were happening, but it was just a lot of inconsistency. Okay. So based off that information that I had at the time, I was thinking to myself, well, you know what? Yes, Reciprocity have phenomenal players on their team, but based off how I've seen them play before, we could have maybe a classic Reciprocity on our hands. I'm going to put them at 5th. And they clearly proved me wrong. Status quo, same thing. They clearly proved me wrong. Denial clearly proved me wrong in a different sense, which we'll talk about. But there you go. Reciprocity clutching the series when they needed to, being the first team in the grand final. Okay, but that series not to be outdone. We have the losers finals with Tox going up against GMS. To put things into perspective here, if Tox lose, this would be the first time in years that Tox is not in a grand final of a tournament. Okay? Keep in mind here, GMS has been rolling through teams. Okay? They're hot. They're ready to go. They've been waiting to snatch their prey. So let's get into it. Game 1, CTF on Heretic, 5-4 going to Tox. Wow. Game 2, Slayer on Narrows, 50-48 going to GMS. Unbelievably close game. Game 3, King of the Hill on Construct, 213-159 going to Tox. GMS really just couldn't get a lot of things going this match. Tox were able to just take it. Game 4, CTF on the Pit, 2-0 going to GMS. And we wanted to hit on this one just a sec as well. Not only did Tox not get to score in this game, it went to time. It went to end of regulation time because it was 2-0, not 3-0. And we saw Royal 2 do a play that is so unlike him that maybe they were flustered during this game. Maybe something happened to where Tox was just not all there. They were a little on edge. Because realistically, Royal 2 went for a flag return. He just ran straight in. He didn't try to be sneaky. He didn't try to get anything going. He just ran straight in.
Do you think it could have been a bad call?
Yeah, very well could have.
Got a bad
because we didn't have a listen in at the time. So
yeah, he may have gotten because that's the only
why would you do that?
He's such a methodical player.
Yes.
That it's like it makes no other sense rather than someone gave him a bad call and he just dove in to get the flag.
Yes. Like why? Because if you go back and you rewatch that, like it's a last second play. It really is because he died and then a GMS player goes in and caps it. Okay. So it was the last second play to try to save the drive, right? He wanted to go in, touch the enemy flag, right? But it was so unconventional because he just went straight forward. He didn't try to do anything like methodical, for lack of a better word. He didn't try to do anything methodical. He just ran straight for it. And he got shot and he died immediately. And it was like, it was a pure desperation play. The likes of which we don't see from Tox. We just don't. So the fact that happened, I'm like, 2-0, you didn't score anything, went to end of regulation, and you made that play. Okay. Let's see what Game 5 has to say. Game 5. Slayer on Amplified. 50-49. Going to Tox. Tox won the series 3-2, send GMS home. Tox move on to the grand final against Reciprocity, but Will, do you want to know how this play went down?
Tell me about it.
So, Lethal, this was unbelievable. Lethal's being challenged by 2 players, okay? Lethal is not full shield at this point in time. The game, I believe, is like 48-48. Okay, it's close. Lethal's being charged by two guys, both on kind of opposite sides of him. One is coming straight at him. Lethal, in his own words, shit on him. Just straight shit on this kid, okay? It set everything up. If he did not have that happen, this play would not have gone the way it did. Lethal, again, not full shields, gets the first kill, okay? Then I believe he puts shots in the second guy before dying. It's now 49-49, okay? APG spawns up back of their base, okay? Like, he just spawns up. Lethal makes the call out saying, they're on me, I believe is what was happening. APG throws a nade from his spawn, gets the one that was weak, gets the kill for the 50-49, and right after that, a player from GMS killed APG. So it literally came down to that split-second decision, that split-second clutch play that happened, that won them that game, that won them that series, that sent them to the grand finals. That could have gone 100% differently. And for the first time ever, and first time in a long time, we could have had GMS in the grand final and Tox not in the grand final. It would have been insane. I mean, the whole series was fucking insane. But that play, there's a very specific reason why I'm saying APG right now, because, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. But grand finals time. Tox going up against Reciprocity. If Tox want to win this, they need to win 2 best of 7 series. Reciprocity only need to win 1 because they won the winners final. Game 1, capture the flag on Heretic. 5-3 going to Reciprocity. Game 2, Slayer on Amplified. 50-47 going to Tox. Game 3, King of the Hill on Construct. 250-174 going to Reciprocity. Game 4, capture the flag on the Pit. 2-0 going to Reciprocity. Reciprocity need to win 1 more game to win the tournament. 1 more. Game 5, Slayer on Narrows. 50-47. Reciprocity. And Reciprocity are your HCS Invitational 4v4 champions, where I thought they would get 5th place. They actually got 1st. And the funny thing about that last game, that Narrows game, is that so Tox were all, this was hilarious. Tox was all in their base, okay? Reciprocity had the advantage. They had a kill advantage. It wasn't like dramatically close where if you push, you lose, right? They were basically in a push, we can't lose scenario. As long as we get them, we get them. Tox are all in the back of their base. Reciprocity are like, hey, let's go get them. They start trucking their way over there. Tox then realize, oh, hey, they're coming for us. What happens if we just take the man cannon over to the other side? So not 1, not 2, not 3, but all 4 members of Tox took the man cannon to the other side of the map. Unbelievable. Reciprocity realized what happened. They turned around, they went back, they got the kills, they finished the game. The funny thing is that there was a tweet that was put up by one of the members of Tox after the series had concluded, after the tournament had concluded, and he goes, and I don't know if this is a joke or not, but he said that they thought about just keep going back and forth across the man cannons to see if they could get something going. But the fact of the matter is all 4 of the fucking players went across man cannon. They ended up losing anyway, but it was really funny to hear that after the fact. But yeah.
What if, what if only 2 went? And they're like, oh, they're all going again. And they turn around and then the 2 flank and the 2 come around the other side and they pinch them. And they could have turned that around.
They could have. Anything could happen.
They could have. I should be a coach.
Oh my God. Oh my God. See you later, Royal One. We got Will, aka Mr. Mayhem, coming in to coach you. So that's it for your 4v4 Invitational. First place went to Reciprocity, taking home $40,000. Second went to Tox, taking home $20,000. Third went to GMS, taking home $15,000. Fourth went to Status Quo, taking home $10,000. Fifth and sixth went to Lux and Denial, taking home $7,500 apiece. Brackets, VODs, All that fun stuff will be included in the Google Docs of the show, the Google Doc of the show notes of the show. Will.
Yes.
How about some community thoughts? Shall we get into it?
Yeah, what do you got?
First and foremost, King Abyss states, loved all what I saw, and I'm happy to see all the hype the event had around it. Snipe states, South by Southwest was a great event in general. It wasn't just about the tournament, which finally gave Rec the win over Tox. The BTB matches were a blast. Community content creators holding their own against some of Halo's biggest legends, and Golden Boy. The Rivals matchup was fun too, but next time they definitely need more diversity in the selection. Max Plot states, I was super pleased about this tournament. Talent showed up and almost everything was done well. Aside from the video issues to start Sunday, streaming was amazing. Almost all the games were fun to watch, especially on Sunday. They did great coverage of the teams with great interviews. The commentators were engaging and did a pretty good job explaining the plays. All in all, one of the best Halo tournaments I've watched, my bad. Obviously, a lot of time and effort went into this event, and it showed. In High Tech Redneck states, finally caught up on all the matches. It was a long week and weekend and wasn't home much. First of all, let's freaking go, Rec. I thought it was an awesome event. Loved the variety with Microsoft Store Doubles Tournament, BTB, and Snipe Down vs. Lethal Show match. The gameplay was incredible, and it was nice seeing guys like the GMS squad holding their own right there with the top dogs like Tox and Rec. I really liked how the Snipe Down vs. Lethal Show match was formatted with the random wheel spins to determine game modes. Production was great, and the therapy session with Bravo, Snipe Down, and Lethal was hilarious. I thought the casters and Lottie did a great job on the desk, as well as the Observer. Lastly, I'm going to need Super Fiesta to be added to the competitive rotation immediately. And then, because I don't want to forget, and I forgot to put it in the show notes, but don't worry, I will by the time this actually airs, I need to include Mr. Justin LaFleche, his thoughts as well. What a great event! Not bad issues with the stream. A few little lags, but those are unavoidable in my eyes. No huge downtime between games. Great in-between content to keep me watching the stream. Some fantastic series. That Game 5 Tox vs. GMS was absolute insanity. Then hearing Lethal's explanation, no nice way to put it, I shit on him, made me die. The BTB was an absolute blast to watch, so glad Golden Boy won. Then he proceeded to get shit on by all the casters all weekend long. The Lethal vs. Snipe Down was also dope to watch. Wish we could have seen some Halo 1 or Halo 4 in there. Should have done one from each game, but whatever. The casting is always fantastic, and we actually got some close series. And of course, the best moment of the weekend, finally seeing Rec take that number 1 spot. And all I want in life is someone to look at me the way Pistola looks at Snipe Down. Hope I get that in before you guys recorded, and don't worry, for the second time, you did. You did indeed. So yeah. That's the community thoughts. Will, what were your overall thoughts about the event?
Yeah, so like you said, the only criticism I have would just stream the FFA. Otherwise, loved the amount of content and different things they did during this event. The time between matches was great. They didn't have much downtime, which kept average viewership up over the weekend. That's what I believe attributed to it. While peak viewership wasn't great compared to other esports, Halo is what it is right now, and I think we did well compared to other events.
Yes.
With this one.
Overall, yep. I think we've kind of hit on this in previous episodes, but I don't want people to think that, like, I don't want to come off as a negative Nancy, okay? But the fact of the matter is, more viewership would have mattered a little bit more. I'm very glad this was consistent. And the fact of consistency has to do with the amount of content that was being put on. Right? The fact that there wasn't a lot of downtime, not only between the matches themselves, but in between the games themselves. Like it was basically, let's cut back the desk for less than a minute. We're into the next game. Go. You guys do your thing. Lottie was saying that all the time, right? It's that consistency, that continuation of content that I don't want to look away. I don't want to tune into something else because if anything, the only break that we're taking is maybe 3 minutes while we set up the next match. That's it. And then, like the community was saying as well, like the individual player interviews. Great to see. That therapy session was one of the greatest things I've ever witnessed. And it was all around fantastic. And the other thing I want to say, I am going to compare Walshy to Tony Romo. Walshy, in my mind, is the Tony Romo of Halo. professional Halo. Tony Romo was a professional football player, was a professional quarterback, right? Did fairly well, right? Became a caster, or became like a commentator. What is their role? What's their position?
Yeah, commentary, broadcaster.
Okay. Walshy was one of the best that has ever played the game and became a caster. And I love, and I'm not saying the other casters did a poor job, because they all did a phenomenal job. It's just the comparison I want to make here is that whenever I have, okay, Onset and Bravo, you guys are fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Just hear me out. When Golden Boy and Walshy are on stage, right? And they're commentating over the games, I love the analysis that Walshy brings to the table. So like Golden Boy brings a little bit of that, but he like brings a lot more of the humor aspect to it, like more of the hype nature to it, right? Mm-hmm. Walshy brings a lot more of the analysis, and he loves his Insta-splodes. Like, oh yeah, he loves them, but he breaks things down, and he's like, that's the thing that I love the most about the casters, is that not just him, but the others as well. They tell you, oh, expect them to do this. Expect them to kind of go this way. Expect them to set up for this. Oh, this is coming. Expect them to do this. Just like Tony Romo does in American football, right? A play's about to start. Oh, watch number blah, blah, blah. They're going to be cutting right, or they're going to be doing this. It happens every time. It's that added mentality to it, right? Love seeing it. Love hearing it. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. Keep it going. Please. Anything else you want to talk about with the Invitational before I get to the little controversies that we have here?
No, let's keep it going. What do you got?
Okay, so, all right. The internet was taken aback a little bit by a statement in regards to, remember how Eco got dropped from Talks, and then Eco went to GMS, and Talks picked up Royal 2? So, for those who don't know, the dropping of Eco was planned from the very beginning, okay? It was planned before the tournaments even began. It was known that Royal 2 was going to be coming back. And Eco, they talked about it, and I believe he knew that he was going to be leaving. Okay? What people were thinking was that should have happened is they were saying, why'd you drop Eco? Why didn't you drop APG instead? Well, guess what? I'm here to tell you that it basically shouldn't work like that. Okay? I went through basically every single game that was played in this tournament, and I gathered their overall kill-death ratios for the entire tournament. Eco, out of 15 games, because there was a 16th game, but the stats were not actually shown on stream for one of the Lux games. Okay? So out of 15 games, which could have been 16, Eco had 313 kills and 297 deaths, leading to a 1.05 overall KD for the tournament. APG, out of 18 games, 337 kills, 336 deaths, 1.0 overall KD. So basically right next to one another. Okay? I included Royal 2 in here just for funsies. Again, out of 18 games, 346 kills, 255 deaths with a 1.35 overall KD. So let's just say for the record that picking up Royal 2 was a smart decision. Now, APG over Eco. I wouldn't even have given it a second thought. APG, I believe, has been playing with them for a lot longer. I'm talking about in just Halo history, okay? They have that chemistry. Again, the roster change was already planned, so nothing else needed to be said about it. It's just the internet threw their arms up in the air, and we're like, why the fuck did you do that? It's like, you had no say in the matter. It was already determined. But I'm here to pinpoint for you that it didn't matter, okay? Because the other thing that I'm going to say is I think the person who had the more clutch plays between the two was APG during that tournament. If APG didn't throw that grenade, it would have been GMS in the grand final. But instead, it's Talks. Will, do you want to tell me one more time who made that play happen? Who was that?
Yes, it was APG.
It was APG.
But who's to say that Eco wouldn't
I didn't see him throw a nade. I'm just kidding.
Who's to say Eco wouldn't have died in that spot? Maybe he survived, and then it's not 49-49. It's 48-49.
Hey, we could talk about what could have happened, but the fact of the matter is this happened. No, it's...
Who's to say that Eco being on a more established team wouldn't have put up better numbers?
Okay, I hear you. But we did talk about how GMS, they'd been constantly grinding out the game after the pros all went away. Okay? And based off what we just experienced in this tournament, they were able to hang out with them just fine.
True.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, Tox is better than GMS.
Yes.
When you're surrounded by better people, that could make you better.
Okay.
I think.
Very true. Could set up different plays.
But yes, it's two different play styles, so that could... If it didn't work, it could have brought down the team.
It could have.
You never know.
It could have.
You never know.
Yep.
Just like I bring you guys down in Halo Bowl.
No, you don't. You don't. You shut the fuck up. I
gotta joke on myself so the negative Katie doesn't hurt so bad.
Okay, perfect. Okay, good. You do you then. No, but let me again set the record straight here. I have nothing against Eco. I have nothing against APG. I have nothing against either team. It's just when people try to start shit when shit doesn't need to exist. It was predetermined the roster change was going to happen. Okay? And clearly, the better team beat the other team in this scenario. And it was basically because of an APG play that it happened. In this very, very specific instance. Will the next tournament be any different? Who's to say? We'll just have to wait and see. That was the first controversy. The second one was me... Oh, shit. Me saying that Denial was going to be... Me saying that Denial was going to be taking, top 2. And then Status Quo going to be taking last. It didn't happen that way at all. So Status Quo, Ace, I saw your tweet. I replied to it. He basically said to all the haters, thank you to all the haters who thought we were going to place last and not win a single game. And that was basically me at that point. So I responded, and they definitely proved me wrong. 100%. They clearly put in more practice than I initially thought they did, and they performed better than I thought they would. So good on them.
Same for me. I mean, we went in on that preconceived notion that they took 16th place to all these teams that really weren't top tier like they were supposed to be.
Correct.
So it was kind of like a what? Yeah, if they're not competing at that caliber a week before the event, how are they going to compete that highly at the event?
Right.
But we found out that there was that they actually weren't able to play, and that's why they got that placing. It just spiraled.
Yes,
for
exactly. So I'll look into it further the next time something like this could happen. But the fact of the matter is I was clearly wrong. So Ace, Status Quo, I apologize. You guys did a lot better than we initially thought you were going to. And clearly you guys have the talent.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about last place of the top 6 teams.
Right.
Like the top.
Right. We're not talking about like a 64 tournament now or anything like that, right? If you play 64th, we'd be having a completely different discussion right now. But the fact of the matter is, yes, of the top 6 teams, realistically right now in the world of Halo 3, you guys are still fantastic. And as long as you stick together, because we love consistency, if you guys stick together and just keep that grind and going, and we'll see what you guys are able to accomplish. But yeah, Denial.
They were the ones who surprised everyone by
in the wrong way.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened? They won a game. They won a single game. One. Not a series, a game of this tournament. Yes, there were only 6 teams competing, and yes, they technically only played 2 series. But they won one game, dude.
You know, it could have been it's hard to pinpoint what it is. Sometimes things just don't click on the day. And they didn't play, I think, to their full potential.
Maybe that first round bye hurt them.
You think so? Other teams got a chance to warm up.
Yeah, it really could have.
It's possible.
Because Tox Talk's got a first round bye as well, but at the same time, they're, for lack of a better term, they're established, right?
Sure.
When you hear Talks and competitive Halo, you expect greatness.
Yeah.
Okay. The expectations are set. With Denial, they did really well at the UGC Halo Classic, but there's a lot of downtime between there. And yes, I believe they played in the Winter Series matches, but you have that first round bye. And as we've seen with Reciprocity, if you're not able to play right away, that could hurt you.
Yeah. They actually won the Winter Series right before the event took place.
Yep.
I just think things didn't fall in line here, and they have the ability to be a top team, as we saw at the Halo Classic.
Yes.
Another thing to put in perspective here is, Josh had commented this to me before, but there was no tape on a couple of these Denial players before. Shelly, no one really knew about. He was coming from out of the blue.
Yep.
And now people have seen his play style from the last tournament, and maybe that was watched and they figured out what they were doing, and now Denial has to kind of counter strat against what teams have found out.
I think Paul Shee brought that up to our attention as well. I think that's who I got that information.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. No,
but it's a good viewpoint. It's
yeah.
Makes sense.
It's just like we do a lot of NFL talk.
Yeah.
It's just like preparing for your opponent for the week. I mean, every NFL team goes and gets the tape of what their opponents have been doing in the previous weeks and try to build the best game plan against them. I hear these esports teams do the same thing.
Yep.
They take tape on what these other players are doing and learn their tendencies and try to counter that. So, I think Denial will still be at the top come the next tournament they compete in. And I think this is just a weird placing for them.
Yeah, I think so too. Definitely weird. Definitely not seeing that happening again. All right. But that's going to do it for our HCS Invitational post show. But we actually have another tournament that's taking place just this upcoming weekend, and that's the Gamers for Giving 2019, which means it's time for our preview. And it's actually kind of good that we're talking about this, that we're re-recording this, because more information came out, so we get to talk about it a little bit more. This is from the Gamers for Giving website, gamersforgiving.org, and I quote, Halo Tournament. This year's bracket will be seeded based on points competitors have earned at UGC Halo events, the UGC Online Qualifiers, and the UGC Halo Classic. Upon checking into the event, our team will validate your player ID and add the points of each team's players, if any, to determine bracket placement. Traditionally, the Gamers for Giving Halo tournaments have been randomly seeded. Given the enthusiasm for recent LAN and online UGC events, we feel this will help provide a higher competitive experience for players taking part in our event. Players do not need UGC points to participate in the Gamers for Giving Halo tournament. The point system is only intended to help determine initial bracket placement. All Halo stations will be equipped with Astro mix amps, including a mix amp for coaches. Be sure to bring your own controllers and headsets. Check-in for the Halo tournament will begin at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, March 23rd. Once checked in, players will be able to warm up on the tournament stations. We anticipate beginning the tournament around 12 p.m. Sunday's March 24th portion of the tournament will begin at 10 a.m. We'll be streaming key matches on the Gamers Outreach Twitch channel. Be sure to tune in at twitch.tv/gamersoutreach. And something that was just announced today, the talent lineup, as a matter of fact. And this includes Walshy, Golden Boy, Bravo, Elamite, and the man, the myth, the legend himself, hashtag free T2 again, T-Squared. He's going to have us fragging like a pro, Will. That's what it is. But yeah, that's all the information we have right now. We think Lux will be there. We're pretty sure they will. I don't know. We don't have a list of confirmed teams yet. We just don't.
No, not really.
Hopefully that gets released a little bit later on in the week, like maybe tomorrow or Thursday.
Hopefully.
Yep.
It would be nice to see it before the event. Otherwise, it's hard to speculate and know what's going to happen. And while they are, putting a competitive twist on it, the root of this tournament, it's all for charity.
Yes.
And if you do what you can for them, tune in. If you can donate, it's all for a great cause. So.
And the other thing is too, I want to set expectations for this event.
Yes.
Okay.
Good point.
So the HCS Invitational, we had these great things that happened in between the matches. We had the great interviews. We had the great side segments, right? So on and so forth. That was an HCS event. This Gamers for Giving tournament is a HCS grassroots event. Okay? This is community run. Do not expect that type of content to be at this tournament, to be on the stream. Okay? They may have their own things set up, but just know that the potential caliber of stuff that we're going to be getting might not be the same. Okay? Keep your expectations in check. But please don't let that detract you from watching the stream. We all love competitive Halo. That's what we're here for. And more of it is good. And if we can be there to watch it and talk about it, it'll be a great time. Speaking of watching and talking about it, you can join our Discord. Will's going to talk about it when he plugs the show later on. But join the Discord. Join our tournament watch/listen along voice channel. And we'll be there. I'll try to be there more this weekend. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there much for the Invitational because of baby and stuff like that. You understand. Hopefully I'll be there a little bit more this weekend. We can talk shop about Halo. It'll be a good time. And we hope to see you there. That's what I got. Will, are we ready for some shout-outs?
What do we got?
First and foremost, I want to give a shout-out to everyone who tuned in to the watch and listen along for the HCS Invitational. Again, while I was unable to be in the chat for extended periods of time, when I was there, the energy was amazing. So thank you guys for being an amazing community. Thank you guys for just being there and having a good time chatting about Halo and a couple specific ones. Again, I'm not saying anything bad against the other people that I'm not shouting out here, but huge shout out to Paul Shee specifically for Friday and Saturday taking the helm of that while we weren't in there, keeping the conversation alive. Love you for it, man. Goalie sniper Justin, you were in there basically all day, every 3 days. So thank you for that as well. Lawrence, I see you, man. I saw you in there. It was great to see you for the first time in that watch and listen along. It was great talking to you for a little bit. And everybody else in general. Thank you guys for joining in. It was great. It was a fun time. The next shout out I want to give is to everyone who actually helped out with the HCS Invitational. The work that was put on was amazing, and it should not go unnoticed in any way, shape, or form. Every part of the broadcast was top notch, and please bring more types of fun activities. They need to happen at future HCS events. You guys did an unbelievable job. Everybody at South by Southwest Gaming, everybody at the HCS, everybody behind the scenes, the casters, the players themselves as well. And you guys did so well. Don't let anybody tell you to take that for granted. You guys did amazing. And then finally, self-promotion shout outs here. Shout out to Will and myself for getting our respective promotions in our respective jobs. So congratulations, Will.
Yeah, congratulations to you, man.
Thanks. It's great.
Yes. It'll be longer hours for me, so
later recordings for us.
Yeah. Not looking forward to long days, but
Hey,
it is what it is.
It could be a lot better.
Could be a lot worse.
There There it is. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, that's again one of the reasons why I wasn't in Discord much, was celebrating with families over with the new job. So
yes.
Had to take some family time this weekend.
Absolutely. Will, that does it for the shoutouts. What do we got for the community creations?
There's always Me Monday on Reddit.
It's always a good time.
I posted one on the HCS Pro Talk account today. I retweeted it.
Ooh.
I don't know if it was on Reddit, but it was just a Halo meme. I thought it was great. It has to do with Nike. Go check it out. Top Halo Clips had its weekly winner. Congratulations to @HCS Takedown for not only placing top 8 in the Halo 3 FFA at South by Southwest, but he's also the winner of the weekly giveaway. Give some Halo love to the man who deserves it and keep submitting your clips every week for a chance at winning great prizes. Play Griffball highlights Twitter video. Go check that out. We have the HCS Invitational Photo Gallery by David Sandman. We have, it says, Josh, is that Paul Shees?
No.
It's Ishii?
Yeah.
Ishii's montage premiere scheduled for Saturday, March 23rd, 12 p.m. PST on Twitch. We talked about that. I should know what we're talking about. We talked about that on the show last week.
Yeah, it's a highly anticipated montage.
Go check it out. Halo, the Great Journey compilation album by Simon the Cartographer. Go check that out. We have Halo Endgame Avengers style trailer by The Architect. And that's all we got.
That tweet you retweeted?
Yeah. It was from Snipe NZ.
Yeah, it was from Snipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Snipe.
There you go.
Love you, man.
Great meme.
Indeed. Will, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got filet of fish at McDonald's. They were great.
Boost your energy level a little bit.
A little bit. It got me through the show. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was the first time I've eaten all day. That was the first time I'd eaten all day.
Hashtag baby life.
Hashtag fuck me. Before I have you, do the thing you do at the end of the show every week, there's something else I want. You don't even need to remind me. I haven't remembered. So when's the tournament? When's our 1v1 tournament?
April 6th, I believe.
April 6th? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and come on down to the HCS Pro Talk 1v1 tournament, where entry is free. And kid seats, we don't have kid seats, but they're still just $5. And that's all I got.
You're going for the
Monster
Kid
Jam.
Seat's technically free because you can watch it on Mixer.
It is true. You can watch it on Mixer. But no, seriously, sign up for our 1v1 tournament. It's Halo 5. We're going to make a couple tweaks to some maps, but it's going to be a great time. We hope to see you there. Will is going to be streaming it. He's going to be casting it.
I'm going to try.
Will's going to be doing a phenomenal job casting it.
Josh is going to have to take the day and be here for the tournament.
I will. Yep. And don't worry, we're not gonna have any cheating bullshit or anything like that.
No, if he's gonna, we're setting up in separate rooms.
Yes.
For casting and him playing.
Yes.
He will be casting with me here when.
Yes.
Other matches are going on, but when he's playing his matches, he will be off.
That is why I'm going to be in this house. Is because we'll be casting at the same time when I'm not playing, and we live like a few streets away from one another, so it's just easier to have both of us in the same house doing that. Mm-hmm. So don't worry. We're not going to be cheating or any shit like that. It ain't about that. It's about having fun, and it's about shitting on Scud Puddle.
He's the one who brought this up to us, so.
He is. He is indeed. Will, I think that's all the energy I have for today. But you know what?
I'm with you.
We got through it together.
We did.
We did a full second recording of this show. So for people listening right now that have made it to the end here before Will does his thing, think about this for a second. Think about how long this episode is. Now think if you had to do it twice, because that's what we had to do. but we made it.
Funny enough, this one is about the same amount of time.
Really?
So,
wow. Great. And with that, Will, plug the show.
You can find us on your favorite podcast services. Just search for HCS Pro Talk. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, and others. Leave us a review and let others know about the show as well. You can join our Discord, as Josh spoke about before. Join the community discussion. We have a ton of different text channels, a watch, listen along channel, IRL, whatever you may need. Come check it out. Links for all of these will be provided within the Google Doc of the show notes. We have our Xbox Club and Spartan Company. Search for HCS Pro Talk on your Xbox Windows app or your Xbox itself. We are on the social medias: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Mixer. Search for HCS Pro Talk on all of those. And we also have our Esportspedia page, where you get to see the breakdown of our episodes and a little description. What do we got on the next episode, Josh?
Gamers for Giving 2019 post show, Will.
Exciting stuff.
The most exciting stuff.
Be sure to turn into the tournament.
Oh, it's late, Will.
It's the end.
It is.
Watch Gamers Forgiving. There you go. Just take it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for episode 65 of HCS Pro Talk. We want to thank you very much for listening. We hope you have a phenomenal rest of your week. We'll hope to talk to you in Discord for Gamers Forgiving 2019. But until the next episode, bye-bye!